Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Movie Critic Rob here with the Movie Channel, and today we are going to be taking our second look, as we do in the My Thoughts on series, on Civil War, Captain America Civil War, which is the, I think, 14th film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to say, if you noticed on my channel, there has been kind of a drop in videos, the amount of videos I've been making. I've just been really busy lately. However, this is going to change. It also has been a slower season now, movie-wise, now that Suicide Squad is out of the table. But I am going to go see Magnificent Seven today, and I'm going to be reviewing Snowden in the coming days. I haven't gone to see that movie yet because I haven't been to the movies lately. I've just been really busy, but I will be doing it for your benefit and just kind of looking at it because I thought it was from what I've seen in the trailers, it looks like a really, really good movie. But Magnificent Seven is coming. I'm going to be doing probably a spoilers and a non-spoilers review. I don't know yet. That's yet to be decided, but it is something I have an idea I might be doing for the channel. That being said, we're talking about Captain America Civil War. Now, if you're wondering what this is the Steelbook edition that I got from Best Buy with some birthday money, which actually ended up selling. It was so funny because I buy the Blu-ray and it comes with the Blu-ray and the 3D Blu-ray, but I don't have a 3D Blu-ray player, so I sell the 3D Blu-ray. I made $16, so basically they paid me $16 to buy this movie. Pretty good deal. I love the Steelbook because it's got, as you see, if you remember the end trailers, they're doing the whole crack theme because the Avengers are split. Spoilers, and by the way, this is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, what are you doing? Go and watch the movie. But if you have, stick around. And as you know, the Avengers at the end of this movie are divided. And I thought this was really great. Steelbooks, my very first Steelbook. I'm not a Steelbook person. I almost bought one for Batman v Superman, but I wanted to get it early, so I didn't get it through Best Buy. And I love the back of this. It's fantastic. And on the inside, I know I kind of already showed you, but it's got, on the other flap, it's got the Avengers too. It's a big, what they call splash panel, which is a lot like what the Russo brothers, a lot like how the Russo brothers described one of the best scenes in this movie, the airport scene. But let's talk about Captain America Civil War. Now, I know it has been talked about to death, the similarities between Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Captain America Civil War. And no, I'm not talking about just the colon in the title. These movies are really, really similar. And it goes without say that people, when they talked about this movie, I did it too when I initially talked about this movie, you're going to compare because they're in the same genre. They're in the superhero genre. And not only that, but they're in what people consider to be two rival studios. I think James Gunn on Twitter put it perfectly when he said, I think it was on Twitter that he said, I like it when both studios succeed because that means that the genre is succeeding. That means that the people are still excited to go see superhero movies, and I want them to be good. And I think that's the point here, is I want them to be good, just like every other film fan to cinema auteur, or whatever you want to call yourself, film critic. At the core, this is what we're hunting for. And that is exactly what the Russo brothers gave us. One of the things that a lot of people had going into this movie was, well, there's so many people, how are they going to keep track? And I think that the Russo brothers handled it absolutely perfectly, because here's their approach, and I like their approach. You don't have to get everybody equal screen time. That's near impossible. But look at where the character stands in the pantheon of Marvel. For example, let me give you an example. Scarlet Witch is not going to get the same screen time as Iron Man. And Ant-Man is not going to get the same screen time as Black Widow. And so on and so on. But you give each character, give him one character moment at least. And you win the game. And that's exactly what they did here in Captain America Civil War. Every single character has one or more than one moment where they are just, it's their show. Black Panther has more than one. Spider-Man has more than one. But when you look at those characters, the reason why there is more than one for those two is because they're the newcomers. They're the ones that have not been cemented in movies that they have starred in or that they have co-starred in. So you kind of need to give them more footing than the rest of the characters that have already been in a few other movies or have even starred in some of their own movies. So I thought they played it extremely well with how they managed it, and they never once felt like the movie came to a halt, which is a gripe that I have with Batman v Superman. Even the Ultimate Cut, they couldn't make it better because that's the way it flowed. With introductions, these introductions, when they're introducing a character, it makes sense in the story, and not only does it make sense in the story, but it makes sense given the source material, because they do, even though it's the MCU version of Civil War, it pulls heavily from the Civil War comics, and it takes moments that are fantastic. For example, this moment that's portrayed on the back of the Steelbook, which is straight out of the comic book. It's perfect moments like that they took out. But they make sure to give each character those moments, and they not only that, but the intros are weaved into the narrative in such a way that it doesn't detract from the storytelling, and it doesn't feel like, okay, cool, we're getting introduced to Black Panther. Okay, cool, we're getting introduced to Peter Parker. Even Peter Parker, which was one of the more detached scenes, and I'm saying that I don't even want to use the word detached. It was just the one, because of the two, Black Panther and Spider-Man, this is the one that they took their time on more. And I think it's because Marvel's like, we got one of our diamonds back, and we want to make him pop as much as possible. But again, never does it make you feel that it comes to a halt and show you, hey, here's this character. Okay, back to the show. It never does that. So because they do that the way that they do it, I thought it was done expertly well. The action in this movie is amazing. The choreography, the way that they frame the shots, especially the airport scene. I'm going to be talking about the airport scene a lot. The shots are just beautifully put in there, and just they capture all the action. In IMAX was tremendous. But even at home on a flat screen with a sound system, it still looks good. It sounds good. Spider-Man, I thought, even looked better in home viewing than he did in the theater. I don't know if maybe they did some touching up, but he looked even better, because I know that was a gripe that a lot of people had, that he kind of looked too CG. I mean, there's some moves that he has to be CGI, but it doesn't look like he's CGI. The integration's flawless. The story is the natural evolution of the cinematic universe, and a great way to address the Civil War comic and use that in the context of the MCU, given prior history, which this movie, you can go into this movie without having seen the other movies, and you get an idea of what happened, and you can enjoy the movie. But you enjoy it so much more if you've watched the other entries of the MCU in order leading to this, and you sit down and you watch this, because it does hinge on a lot of prior events that took place in other movies of the MCU. And it does it well, and I like how the universe is not, we're going to have solo movies, and then, okay, we're going to come together, and then we're going to go apart, and then we're going to come together. This is the beginning, and I think Phase 3 is going to have a lot more of this, especially with Ragnarok, where we're going to have Hulk and Thor coming together for a movie. Integration of characters in other people's movies and interactions, and that's what the comics work. And I like that, because Marvel has taken its time in 2 phases to establish groundwork and establish characters. So now, whenever you're introducing a new character, you know these enough to know their character. You don't have to address them too much. Just give them their moment. but you spend more time on these, and so you give yourself more time story-wise to tell your story. And the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for the last two phases, has laid the groundwork for this integrational storytelling where people can pop in and out of other people's movies like they did in the comics, and it makes sense, and it's great, and it makes you look forward to the next one because you're like, who's going to show up in this? I already know from a set picture. Mild spoilers for Thor Ragnarok, so I'll give you 5 seconds to leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so here's the spoiler. I've looked at a picture. They were filming in New York, and Thor, Chris Hemsworth, was holding a piece of paper with the Doctor Strange address in Greenwich Village. That is awesome. I don't know if that was official, but if it is, and he's going to meet up with Doctor Strange in Thor Ragnarok, oh my gosh. But this is what I'm talking about. They laid their groundwork, they took their time, and now we are getting the payoff. And Civil War is one of the greatest payoffs ever, because now all of these characters together in a way that makes sense, in a way that is organic, in a way that is enjoyable, and is expertly crafted by the Russo brothers, by Kevin Feige, by the entire team of Marvel Studios. Excellent job in their slow burn process of integration, because now if you've been a faithful watcher of Marvels, now you get to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your going to the movies every time a Marvel movie came out, digesting that, because now you're in a world where now people can pop in other people's movies and you can enjoy that. It's amazing what they have done, and it's why they're so successful, and it's why even critics who don't generally like the popcorn movie, I don't know why, because some of them are good, and my opinion on the summer movie is you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, even with Marvel. But Marvel has taken their time to such a degree that you enjoy watching a movie because it's tied into the other movies and things like that. That being said, the Captain America Civil War is a fantastic movie. If you haven't picked it up, there's a bunch of different formats that you can pick it up in. I chose the Steelbook because this is a special movie that I wanted to have the most special kind of packaging and the most special format. And I know it's Blu-ray, whatever, but I like the Steelbook. It's fantastic. The movie is awesome. The bonus features are incredibly detailed. It reminds me of Pirates 2 and 3, and it was like a whole documentation of the filmmaking process. It was just phenomenal, and this was great. I love the way they integrated all the characters, past and present and new, and everything makes sense. The villain makes sense, and he's not over yet. He wasn't killed off like a lot of people accuse Marvel of doing, giving these one-off villains. He wasn't killed off, and he was not in his final form. So I'm excited to see what they do with Baron Zemo going forward. I'm also excited to see what they're going to do going forward in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As we know, Thanos is coming, and he's coming with his gauntlet, and I don't know if by the time we get to Infinity War Part 1 or Infinity War, Avengers 3, because there's two back-to-back, when we get to Avengers 3, who knows if he's going to have all the gems or he's going to come for, I don't know. Oh, it's so awesome. And I like that they're getting the Russo brothers to helm Infinity War, because they have proved with this and with Winter Soldier that they can handle a large ensemble, a big story, and they can handle it with finesse, and they can baby it to the point where it feels awesome and it's a great experience and you enjoy watching it. So I'm really, really hyped for this movie. I've seen it twice at home, and I'm probably going to see it a lot more times. But that's really all I can say. It's top marks. The way that Marvel has done what Marvel has done with their universe, it's unlike anything else in cinema. But it's like that because they took their time. And I'm thankful for that. Because now, you having tuned in and followed Marvel for this long, now you have the TV shows to enjoy on Netflix and on ABC and the movies, and so now you're in a fully integrated universe, and it's awesome. And I don't think that any Marvel fan can say that it's not, because we are getting characters that we never imagined that we would get on the screens, small or large, with the possibility of them crossing paths. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. And I'm excited to see where we are going. I'm really excited for Doctor Strange and seeing how that's going to play into everything. And maybe it'll help to connect the TV universe, because it's the same universe, but there's always been a disparity between TV and the movies. Maybe Doctor Strange will be the bridge in between those two. That being said, this is Movie Critic Rob with the Movie Channel. I will be reviewing the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven, and probably Snowden, as well as some of the movies coming out in the next few months. So stay tuned. I have slowed down a little bit, but I promise you I'm still here, and I'm still watching movies, and I'm looking forward to bringing you some movies as I get them and as I go see them. This has been Movie Critic Rob with the Movie Channel. Really happy for this. I'm really excited for the future of Marvel, and I'm now signing off.